Fresh from the womb that is my bed, I did not want to emerge into a hell-forsaken world that was waiting for me, but my spidey sense was tingling that I had good news to deliver. We have bullied Netflix and the production committee, because it's not just Netflix, the production committee as a whole, into releasing Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run weekly starting of fall this year. Now, it will be split course, which means most of us are going to know, but for the newer people who don't really understand anime, cores are a batch of 12 to 13 episodes. So it can be 10 episodes, right? But essentially what we're doing is every stage they will do weekly releases. So essentially 4, 5, 6 cores of JoJo's just split up into batches, which is fine. We just want fucking weekly. Now, I'm sure there'll be some people who will be like, no, I want 50 episodes straight. Listen, in a perfect world, that'd be great. There's a lot of fucking horses. I understand the production of the show would be much more challenging than past JoJo parts. And I think the concept of stages, if it's weekly, makes sense to me if you're getting at least 10 fucking episodes, because that's how we watch most of our anime anyway. As long as you're doing weekly releases, we're fine. Let's read this. Thank you for all the incredible support for Steel Ball Run, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The series is currently in production and will be available for everyone to enjoy. We are planning a split core release across the entire run of episodes. The next core, second stage, will begin streaming in fall 2026 on Netflix with one new episode released each week. Never thought I'd say that I'd see the day. This release schedule is part of our original plan and no. This part of the original plan and reflects the wishes of the production committee. We're going to touch upon this in a minute. Your passion and enthusiasm means a great deal to everyone involved in the preparation. We appreciate your patience and continued support as we work to bring you the second stage. Here's the thing. This release as part of our original plan is slightly true. They did indeed plan to release stages. However, their original plan was going to be second stage binge batch, third stage drop. They weren't going to do weekly. That's clearly what they were going for. However, the bullying, it worked. They said, okay, it's possible to switch our release schedule. We're already doing weekly anime releases for a bajillion shows. It's not like we have to have batches ready every 3 months, right? Like, we'll probably get a core a year or a core every 6 months, maybe 9 months max. Release is a switch-worthy thing. Now, Netflix isn't only to blame, it's also the production committees, but they are absolutely deserving of blame. It's just, yeah, it does run deeper than just Netflix. And reflects the wishes of the production committee. I mean, the production committee, they got scared. They're like, oh my god. Everywhere I go, I see his face. You know what I mean? Let's read some others. Yeah, everyone's basically reporting it as it's a split core release that's going to be weekly starting in fall, and I think that's fantastic. Where are we going? Where are we going? Yes, that's basically what ended up happening. So Goyle basically saying, yeah, we pointed a gun to your head and said, what the fuck? And that's basically what happened, right? At the end of the day, you can't change everything. And I think if it was any other fandom other than JoJo, this wouldn't have worked. You have to understand something about JoJo. JoJo has a very scary fandom. No one's more obsessed, other than maybe K-pop stans. The energy of, and you could go to any comment section and the fucking faces would be there. If you know, you know. That energy would have kept up for 5 years. To varying degrees of energy, but 5 years from now, we still would have been like, but what about weekly Steel Ball Run? You know what I mean? I ain't gonna take credit for this. This is all the passionate fans of JoJo. Now, I thought in a perfect world, this might happen by the third stage. I thought second stage, they would have binge batch dropped like the 11, 12, whatever episodes for the second stage, right? Intense even more. And then, if we're lucky, if the energy's there, third stage weekly. Netflix was like, oh God. We will raise our prices 15 times and they will eat the shit covered sandwich. But JoJo fans, on the other hand, might actually murder us. So anyway, we're just going to pretend that one drop was always intentional. Because yes, stage batch drops were always intentional, but they were always clearly going to do it in the entirety. So if second stage was 8 episodes, they were going to drop 8 episodes. Third stage was 12 episodes, they were going to drop 12 episodes when it was ready. What we ended up doing is we said no. JoJo's Fridays back on the menu. Boom! Or we're gonna old yeller your ass. And for legal purposes, I mean this thing in a completely comedic way. We back, bitches. Thank God.